We're going to be having Gary Aurora joining us from Windsor, Ontario. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to get him online. Hi, guys. We're just waiting for Gary to jump on the call with us. Hope you guys are doing well. If you have any questions, remember, this is a live feed. We would love you guys to ask us some questions. Hey, Gary, how you doing, man?
Good, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I just thought, you know what? You're a Windsor guy. You're all the way out on the other side. But we are all experiencing similar things. But people are talking about cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Then I'm like, Gary, let's talk about it. So, Gary, before we go any further, guys, Gary is from Windsor, Ontario. He's a realtor out there, and he deals with a lot of cash flow properties. Right, Gary?
Yes, sir. So especially, I would say in Windsor, I see a lot of movement coming from BC. I have people from Toronto. They're trying to invest in Windsor. That's why I reached out to you. I saw your post with Cashflow. Let's do this and maybe kind of get more audience in and educate about why people are investing in Windsor. What's special about Windsor is a smaller city, but why there's influx of investors from like all over the Canada, right? Like BC, Vancouver, Surrey, and Toronto is where most of my clients are from. And
Yes.
It's great.
So, as many of you guys know, guys, Surrey, like the cities that you just mentioned, they're very high priced. And to get into these markets, you kind of need to have money already or already have properties that you can leverage and whatnot. So a lot of people want to start off with maybe finding some passive income, and that's where cash flow really kicks in. Right? That's like you're noticing like investors or like first-time investors or like savvy investors. What are you noticing out there?
I would say seasoned investors, like savvy investors who know, people think that we want to invest in the city we are at because we need control. But especially right now when you have all this facility, right? You have property management company and you have all this technology. You don't need to be in the city to invest in that city, right? People like few years ago, I would say last 4 or 5 years, people are coming in Windsor with the technology advancement, right? People are like, they have more control now while not being in the city, right? So
Yeah.
let's just, if we talk about average price, what's the average price in Vancouver right now? Like average, I would say detached home.
It's over 1.5. Well, detached in Vancouver is much more, but I'll talk about Surrey right now. I think any home is over $1 million, probably closer to 1.3, 1.5 in that range right now for a detached home.
So in Windsor, it's 520. You're looking around 520 to 550, right? So rents are high in bigger cities, but when you do the comparison, when you sit down, when you write down numbers, okay, so what's the difference? It's not 3 times higher in Vancouver, but the price is, right? The rent could be like a little high, not twice, I would say maybe like 50% high, but the prices are crazy in bigger cities, right? But in here, you won't find that problem. So cash flow is great, and that's, I think, one of the major reasons people are investing in Windsor.
So, we're talking about cash flow here. I'm going to go over some numbers with you, maybe run some numbers. But why should people even think about investing in a city like Windsor? Surrey, I know things are coming here. A lot of business happening. People want to be here. We got 3 universities here. Tell me a little bit about Windsor and why people even want to go to Windsor.
Yeah, no, that's great you asked that. I used to live in Toronto, so I moved down here around 4.5 years ago, looking at the prices and, looking at these developments coming in. And within the last 4 years, I have seen a crazy growth. Plus, on top of that, we have the first electric vehicle battery plant coming in Windsor. First plant in Canada, it's coming in Windsor. It's a $4.9 billion investment, right? And they are.
Did you say 4.9 billion?
Billion, yes.
With a B.
Yeah.
Hey, wow. Did not know that. That's news to me.
So it's going to create between 5,000 to 10,000 jobs, right? So with the jobs economy, it's going to start booming here. We have another bridge coming because it's the busiest border throughout US and Canada, right? So Windsor has the busiest border for all the trade. So we have another bridge coming in here, which is going to increase the supply, right? There's a $60 million investment coming in, a Korean investor. He's starting to invest in Windsor now because of looking at this investments, right? So there's a bunch of lists I want to go through, but I don't think we have that much time. But
so long story short, you're saying, Raj, there's going to be more people coming into the city than going out. So this might make the prices even start going up, but for sure you're going to have renters.
Yep, 100%. So, a lot of international students are coming in Windsor because University of Windsor and St. Clair College, they have special program here, and they even help with PR and stuff. And that's one of the other reason people like to invest here, because students, they live in for a year or two, then they move out. So you get market value rent. You don't have to deal with like old tenants who are living there for 5 years and they're paying you shitty rents, right? So you get market value rents.
So every few years, there's a turnaround, they're moving out, and it's easy to find renters there?
Yeah, man.
Are you noticing the demand is there?
Yeah, so it would take like around 7 to 14 days to rent a place here. Like vacancy rate is super, super, super low here.
Wow. So let's run down some numbers for these guys so they don't get bored. I know sometimes I want to even know more. I might just invest down there just because of what you're telling me, but run down some basic numbers. Single family home. Do you think single family is the way to go? Townhome, condo? Which way would you be going?
So I would say like if you're buying a single family, we should look for one with the mother-in-law suite, right? So you can rent out kind of downstairs and upstairs. But duplex, triplex is the way to go. Like a bedroom, you can rent it for around 600, 650, right? And if you buy a duplex with 3 bedrooms in each unit, right, you're looking to make around 3,500, right? And average price for duplex is 480. So you're looking over 1,100, 1,900 in cash flow after your property tax, mortgage, property management, right? All that stuff. There's no like people, how people calculate these days is they just calculate mortgage, you're gonna make 1,000. No, but when I say 1,000, it includes property tax, your insurance, your vacancy rate, property management fees. It's great, man. It's crazy.
For me, that's a right way to calculate cash flow. Is after expenses, taxes, insurance, 100%, man. What you just said. So you're saying on average here, the guys that are getting into the market right now, they're noticing around $1,000 monthly cash flow based on those type of properties after expenses, and that's what 20% down, or how much? Percent down.
20% down, and you can the interest rate, because I just ran down numbers for a client a few hours ago. So I put at 5% interest rate, and they were on track to make $915 positive cash flow with the $480,000 investment.
So cash flow. So we can just both agree cash flow is there to stay. And one thing I always look for is whenever I'm investing is, because if you go to the prairies, like it's great, but you can always expand. Then they just release 1,000 more houses, and then you never get appreciation. Have you seen any appreciation in Windsor over the last 10 years? And if so, how much, like roughly, if you had to say?
It's crazy, man. So like I would say 10 years, the average price in Windsor was around 180 to 200,000, right? And right now we're sitting at 526,000. So we have a lot of appreciation, but there wasn't this many investments coming in, which are coming now. So I really personally think the future is great, and that's one of the reason I moved to Windsor, because I have more control in here with my investments and everything. So it's great here.
So you're noticing there is a good chance for investment, especially with these projects coming here. You foresee the future is good for Windsor. Yeah.
So I would say, like, for past couple 3-4 years, what has been happening in the market is not quite normal, right? Let's be honest. So, but in the next 5 years, you're looking to get around 8 to 12% in appreciation if the market stays, normal. If we don't have another COVID, we're looking around 12%, 8 to 12%.
Okay, yeah, like you'll get back to more realistic
numbers,
appreciation, not what we just had the last few years, which was kind of insane.
Yeah.
But okay, I think a lot of people have gotten used to like prices doubling. just overnight here, but I think now we're getting back to reality. So with these type of properties, guys, the benefit is even if the interest rate goes up, you don't really stress out, and you are making money because you're paying down your mortgage, one, but plus you're getting some monthly income. And what you can do and you can pay these properties down sooner and keep purchasing, start that little roll that many people have done before, right?
Correct, man.
Buy
like,
one, then buy two, then buy three.
Yeah, a lot of people like they don't want to talk about cash flow anymore because in some cities it's not possible anymore, right? So they're like, oh no, you shouldn't be looking for cash flow. Why not? Why don't you look for appreciation? Why not both? You get them both there. Why not both, right? You need cash flow because when market is not stable, you're not worried about your payments because you have tenants paying for it. Plus, you have that room to cover for everything, right? You need cash flow is very important. That's my personal opinion. I don't know you.
I agree with you here. Then you don't get stuck in a jam like here where we live in the Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley in general. I'd say even Vancouver, Surrey, you name it, right? Majority of the places here aren't that cash flow anymore. They don't cash flow. 20% down. And for those guys watching, I'm not saying every property. I'm just saying there's many properties, most do not cash flow here anymore. And the amount of money you need to even get in the market is high. But mind you guys, this is a different product in our city. We do live by the coast. This is definitely a lifestyle. We have Skytree. We have totally different. This is a totally different product. But for investment purposes, I think Windsor is definitely the way to go. It's one of the ways to go, actually. And yeah, no, thank you. Would you like to add anything there?
No, I would just I would wrap up I'm not saying bigger cities are bad. Like you get more growth there, 100%. But it's easy to get in smaller city, especially right now with inflation, jobs like salary and everything is not rising as accordingly as real estate prices, right? We all know that. So if you have money sitting in the bank rather than have money losing its value, invest in cities where prices are cheaper, right? Maybe some cities are close to you guys, not in Windsor generally, but if you have the money and if you think the numbers make sense, invest it. Maybe down the line you can sell it and buy something nice in the bigger cities, right? That's all I want to say.
100%. I totally agree with you, brother. Thank you. It was great having you. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Gary over here, and we would love to help you out. Right, Gary?
Sure, for sure. Thank you guys, whoever joined. Thank you. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Reach out to me. You can DM me. I'll be happy to answer all the questions.
Catch you guys later. Cheers.
All right.